Hey guys, this is Hybrid. I know I promised comic book verses, but I'm having editing issues with that, so I thought I'd treat you guys with another kind of video of it's like a how-to slash thoughts video now, because we know Amazing Spider-Man 3, 4, and 5 are going to happen, and maybe even a 6 if possible. We know from an interview with Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy will die in the third film. That is the end of Emma Stone's contract unless they extend it to some degree. We know Mary Jane will now be introduced in the third Spider-Man film. We know the villains so far in the Amazing Spider-Man franchise, supervillains, Electro, Rhino, and the Lizard. And unlike the Raimi films, Spider-Man didn't let the Lizard die, or at least the Lizard didn't let the Lizard die. Thus, we can set up for what a lot of people are calling the Sinister Six movie to come. I personally believe they're going to push that movie back as much as they can because they want to milk money from the other films to build up to this. And it's not for build up per se, but it's so they could have one villain for each movie and then come together instead of two or three. Now, no offense to all the Spider-Man fans, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan myself. I will go toe to toe with any Spider-Man fan. I seriously will. I love the character. I love the Rogues Gallery. I have 3 Spider-Man encyclopedias on standby right now. But not every Spider-Man villain needs a movie. The Puma doesn't need a movie. Cardiac doesn't need a movie. Cloak and Dagger don't need a movie. The Tri-Sentinel, which according to the Spider-Man encyclopedia is a Spider-Man villain, does not need a movie. The Rhino doesn't need his own movie. Sandman does not need his own movie. Mysterio does not need his own movie. The villains I do think could hold their own movie. Doc Ock, obviously. The Goblins obviously could. Chameleon, I think, would make a great thriller film for Spider-Man, considering he could turn into anybody he wants, basically. And that would make a really cool, plot with how Chameleon... There's so many powerful figures in New York that, what would happen if Chameleon is one of those powerful figures? How do you fight that? So there you go. Awesome movie right there. But what I'm hoping they do is not give every Sinister Six member a movie. I'm gonna really sorry. I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm really tired. I'm really briefly going to tell you how I think they could do the Spider-Man franchise for a 6-film picture or 6-picture franchise. Because I'm pretty sure if they already have 5 on here, signed up, planned, ready, I'm pretty sure if Garfield, because he said if he gets too old to play the role, he will acknowledge that. I'm pretty sure they'll just film back to back. So if any Sony executives at all are watching this, please get your notepad out, take notes, because I'm gonna write you a hopefully positively responsed fanboy film that everybody should like. Now, the third movie, have Green Goblin in it. Set up for Green Goblin in the second movie. Do not debut Green Goblin unless at the end, but don't debut him as a villain in the second movie. Have him in the third movie. Have him kill Gwen Stacy. I swear to God, if Green Goblin does not kill Gwen Stacy, all hell will break loose. Not from me in particular, but from other Spider-Man fanboys who are very, very strict to their Spider-Man fanboy history. You guys thought that when Dan Slott killed Peter Parker was bad? No. If Gwen Stacy does not get killed by the Green Goblin, forget the bridge. The bridge is an extra thing that will make everybody happy. But if it was not on the bridge and it was still Green Goblin, I'm pretty sure people wouldn't be as mad as if it was just for example, if Electro killed Gwen Stacy, no, that would not slide with anybody. Green Goblin kills Gwen Stacy. Yes, Green Goblin kills Gwen Stacy on the bridge. Hell yes, Green Goblin kills Gwen Stacy off a bridge, no bridge involved. People will get over it though. As long as Gwen Stacy is killed by the Green Goblin, that's all people need. Just do that. Do not mess that up. So simple. So yeah, third movie, have that happen. Third movie, have them go to college. Gwen and Peter start college, introduce their professor, Miles Warren, the guy who becomes the Jackal. Yes, I just brought the Jackal into this picture. Do not shoot me now, everybody. Remember, he has a purpose. So, Miles Warren, have his fascination with Gwen Stacy grow throughout the third movie, then show how distraught he is when Gwen Stacy is killed. At the end of the third movie, just show him going psychotic pretty much. There, you start you start setting up for the whole Clone Saga film. Now, the fourth movie, have another Sinister Six build-up. Me, personally, I would love the Master Planner to come out, like, have Doc Ock again, but have him as, like, the Master Planner. Because, alright, if you guys don't know, Doc Ock's my favorite Spider-Man villain of all time because my first Spider-Man comic was the Master Planner story arc. I got that hard copy, trade. Somebody was nice enough to put all the, like, stories together for me in the Master Planner arc, and I read it. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the dynamic between Doc Ock and Spider-Man, and that just spoke volumes to me. One of the reasons Spectacular Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man show is because they adapted this Master Planner story arc into that show, and, you know, like I said, it just amazing. Like, one of those powerful moments in Spider-Man history when he's pinned under all the tons of debris and the water levels are rising. You know, that amazing scene that everyone always, like, loves going back to for images, and they always like homaging to it in Spider-Man media. That came from the Master Planner story arc. Picture that on film. People would explode with, like people thought that when Bane broke Batman's back, that was an awesome scene. No, Spider-Man lifting the rubble, showing his willpower to save his Aunt May, that is a stunning scene to be transported from comic to film. So have the fourth movie. Me personally, I would go with, like, Master Planner Doc Ock. Maybe have Chameleon in there as, like, a backup goon, or Mysterio. Even though I do think Chameleon could hold his own in a film, just for the sake of building up a Sinister Six movie, I think Chameleon, you know, would work better as, like, a lieutenant to the Master Planner's general. If that makes any sense. Also, another reason I think Master Planner story arc should be adapted somewhat into Amazing Spider-Man's franchise is because if Doc Ock logically would lead the Sinister Six, they need to show him as a manipulative force, because why would all these villains get together? A lot of them are very hard-headed to a degree. A lot of them don't want to. You need manipulation involved. Same thing with the Lizard. Most likely Doc Connors isn't just going to want to turn into the Lizard and kill Spider-Man out of the blue. He needs to be manipulated somehow. And Dr. Octavius can provide that manipulation, either from some sort of special caller, like he did in the Amazing Spider-Man TV show, or, you know, just other manipulation. You know, dude's a genius, so obviously they could come up with a way for Doc Ock to manipulate anybody, pretty much in this movie franchise. So have him as the fourth villain. Now, me personally, introduce the symbiote in the fifth or sixth movie. Now, the fifth movie would be good, and this is why. Fifth movie, do the Clone Saga film, you know, Jackal, you know, have Miles Warren finally just, like, crack, and the clones come out, you know, have Ben Reilly, Kane, etc. There you go. Set up a Ben Reilly / Kane film, or what you could do is have the Jackal in there, obviously. They could have Green Goblin die and come back, like in the comics, or they could have Green Goblin die in Amazing Spider-Man 3. Because they could do, like, the Oz formula mutates him, but it also accelerates. Like, it thought it would stop his dying, but he ends up dying anyways from natural causes and all that stuff. What you could do is you could have Harry become the Green Goblin, like in the comics, and he works with the Jackal, funding the Jackal for their, you know, dual hatred for Spider-Man. Because, you know, obviously, hopefully they'll pull off the, like, iconic scene where he thinks he saves Gwen and really doesn't. And everybody's going to be like, oh, Spider-Man killed Gwen. Or, like, in Miles Warren's opinion, Spider-Man didn't do enough to either save Gwen, or Spider-Man was the reason why Gwen was targeted and died. So have Harry, just have Harry being the Green Goblin, the second Green Goblin, funding Miles, working together. In the fifth movie, they're the two baddies right there. And have the Clone Saga start. You could have the whole thing where Ben Reilly saves Peter Parker's life, and then Kane, you know, takes up have Ben take on the alias of Scarlet Spider. He dies, saving Peter Parker's life, and let's say Kane gets inspired, becomes the new Scarlet Spider. So there you go. I just made you a spin-off series, Sony. I just made you a spin-off series with the Scarlet Spider. I hope you guys love me now. So there you go. Scarlet Spider solo series just spun out of that, pun intended. Now, also, you could have the symbiote come down, like the actual symbiote, not the stupid random meteor or, you know, some sort of science experiment per se. Even though I would be okay with that, But what you could do is have like that would be actually a good way to distinguish him from the other Spider-Man clones because they'd all essentially you would think have similar costumes. But at the same time, it would be a nice way to really give him the edge over Harry because they're most likely going to go with the more modern day symbiote route where magically it enhances Spider-Man now. Because originally it just gave him unlimited webbing and shape-shifting powers, like with his clothing and everything, but now it's like he gets stronger and faster. So they're most likely going to go with that variation of the symbiote, I would think. And if they do, that'd be a great way. Have him get the costume in the 5th movie. I would say keep it for his 6th movie. He's going to need it. 6th movie, obviously, I'd say Sinister Six. And against all of them, he would need some sort of boost to stand up to him. So have him wear it for the whole 6th movie. You could have him take it off at the end of the 6th movie. Set up for a Venom spinoff. And considering, I don't know why Flash Thompson's so popular. No, not Flash. Everyone wants Harry to be Venom. No, give it to Flash Thompson if you want to give it to anyone besides Eddie Brock, in my opinion. So you could totally set that up and have a Venom spinoff movie based off Flash Thompson. There you go. That'd be cool too. But for Mary Jane, because I've been leaving her out so far, have, after Gwen dies, obviously, have them be friends first. And then in the 5th movie, get closer. And then the 6th movie, start the romance. Or at the end of the 5th movie, start the romance. Because if you start it in the 3rd movie, obviously it's way too soon. 4th movie, I would say personally it's a little bit too soon as well. But the 5th movie, the 6th movie, that makes more sense. 6th movie, if they could set it up right, that'd be like great way to kind of set up the whole Mary Jane Peter Parker romance. But the 5th movie, I think that'd work too, as long as they pull it off right. So it's not in the beginning of the movie, that'd be too soon. Middle, and kind of too soon. End of the 5th movie, I think that might be just right. Or middle of the 6th movie, that could work too. So that's essentially just like, I guess, in general, my thoughts for the Spider-Man sequels, Amazing Spider-Man sequels. I did not edit this video, so if I sound weird at all, I am sorry. I am tired. Got off work. If you guys actually work, you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is Hybrid. Please subscribe, comment, and like. I'll see you guys later with hopefully comic book verses, but no promises. Sorry, guys.